right? It's the same for any of that stuff. For peace, for happiness, for love, for freedom. This conversation, like I said, this conversation, there's a bunch of conversation happening here, talking about this and that, right? And this conversation, now we're going to create some conflict because I think that you're an idiot. I just wish you would learn this stuff faster. You must be really dumb because this, how many times do we have to sit down every week and go over this stuff? It's the same stuff I'm saying. Now watch, there appears to be some conflict in the conversation, but that which is aware of the conversation, is it in conflict with the conversation or is it at peace?
No conflict there.
No
Just
conflict.
at peace.
So isn't this conflicting conversation appearing in you peace?
Mm-hmm.
Now just remain aware of the peace in the midst of this conflicting conversation. That I wish you would just get it faster because you would be more peaceful if you just got it right now, damn it. But you can't get it because you're being so slow. It must be because you're dumb. You see, this conversation, it's so conflicting. It's so offensive, but that which is aware of it is not offended at all. It's not touched by any of the words. Is the piece that is aware of this conversation, is it threatened or hurt by any of these, hurtful comments that I'm saying?
No, you're like a puppy dog. You couldn't be threatening.
Exactly. Exactly. See, now that is peace. It's peace is the freedom from conflict. That what you are is free from the conflict of this conversation. What you are is untouched by this conflicting conversation. The peace that is aware of this conversation, there seemed to be a personal conflict in the conversation. The content of the conversation appeared to be very personal. One person attacking another person verbally, right? Very conflicting, very offensive, very threatening. But see how the piece didn't need to defend itself. By being aware of the piece, you're actually, it's like you're laughing. You're like, I'm not touched by it. You're not offended. Someone's calling you dumb and stupid to your face, and by being aware of the piece, it's flowing. See how it's flowing through you? It didn't hit you. Did it hit the piece? Didn't my words just kind of flow through you and not stick?
This time.
Yeah, this time because you're aware of the piece. Because nothing sticks to peace. Things only stick to a person, and a person is just a thought. That's what's sticky. The person is sticky. You as the presence, the peace, is not sticky. By being aware of yourself as the peace, as the presence that this conversation is appearing in. This conversation is appearing in the presence of peace. By being aware of the presence, more so than the person, you'll find that you're just not sticky. Nothing hits you. It literally feels like words are being floating through you, and there's nothing for it to hit. They only appear to hit a thought that's a person. It's like, I'm not dumb, you're dumb. And then it wants to retaliate and react. And then it wants to hold on. I can't believe I've been friends with that Mitch guy for 10 years. How does he call me I'm trying my best. He just called me dumb. That's it. I'm not hanging out with him anymore. Like and then holds a grudge and then wants to like get revenge. That's what the person does, the thought. That's what the me does. But the presence, the peace, it doesn't hold anything. There's no grudges. It doesn't want revenge. It's just unaffected. So see, same thing, by you being aware of that peace, didn't you feel more at peace in the midst of a conflicting conversation?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's the same. So what did you actually have to do? Did you become more peaceful, or did you just realize that you are that peace? Did you try? Did you make effort?
No.
Keeper?
No.
Were you fighting for peace like everybody else in the world with their signs and stuff, fighting for peace? Did you fight for that peace? Or was the peace just present?
Just there, yeah.
Yeah, it just is. Yeah. So you see, it's that simple. It's too simple. You're just aware of yourself. It was you that was the peace, is it not? Check again. The peace that is present. Isn't it you? It's you, the peace, that is aware of the conflicting conversation.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You are that peace. So you are already that peace. You've always been that peace, but you've just been ignoring yourself. Because you've been attending the conflict exclusively. And when you attend the conflict exclusively, you seem to edge yourself out, to cut yourself out, to kind of cover to what you called obscure. That's what attention does. When the attention is so focused, it's kind of narrowing and it seemingly obscures. So that what I'm saying is, well, I just say, well, hey, just notice the piece, this background piece. There's a conflicting conversation in the foreground, but there's a background piece that the conversation is appearing on. There's a conflicting conversation that is appearing in a peaceful presence. So now you're starting to be aware of what you were always ignoring. And now you're seeing that actually you can experience both simultaneously. And the best test is your life right now, as it is. You test it out with your girlfriend. You test it out with your family. You test it out at work. You see how you just keep your cool in what seems to be conflicting situations. And it just, to others, it just looks like, wow, what do you do? Like how are you so calm? How are you so cool? How do you just remain like that? You're just aware of yourself. You're just being yourself because what you are is peaceful. So that's what I mean by being yourself.
Yeah, yeah.
That was the same thing like at the start of the conversation, how we were talking about living freedom by being free. Same sort of thing. This presence.
Living freedom.
Yeah.
Living freedom is it's just like recognizing or realizing that you're the piece instead of the
Yeah. And then
shit that's appearing in it.
Yeah. And then your life becomes an expression of that. Right. So in this conversation, one person seemed to be attacking another person verbally with some offensive words. That person on that screen seemed to be expressing peace. Right? Yes or no? We got an audience here. Robbie,
Sure.
right? You didn't lash out at me.
No, it's peaceful.
You gotta try way harder.
You didn't like you didn't like mute me. You didn't walk away. You didn't cry. You didn't yell. You didn't get angry. So you were actually an expression of peace.
I have a feeling that he is taking it as a challenge. You have to try harder.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Exactly. So you're saying, so you saw that the person was an expression of what you are. The person, Luke, was an expression of peace. Because you were just simply aware of yourself as peace, the person becomes an expression of that peace. By being aware of yourself as love, the person becomes an expression of love. By being aware of yourself as happiness, the person becomes an expression of that happiness. By being aware of yourself as freedom, the person becomes an expression of freedom. By being aware of yourself as abundance or fulfillment, the person becomes an expression of that fulfillment, of that abundance. It's like that. The person is an expression of presence. Presence is what you are. The person is just an expression of that. They're one and the same, like they're not separate. And you saw that. You were saying that you are the piece that's aware, but there's also the person that was just an expression of that. That's not separate from peace.
Yeah.
All of a sudden the person became peaceful. I'm like, well, you know, how did you become so peaceful? What course did you take? What class? You'll see people, it doesn't, you're not doing this for other people. Don't do it so that your girlfriend recognizes it. But there's going to be like people just kind of, when you're in touch with yourself like that, when you're aware of yourself, they kind of notice. They're like, hey, he's more kind, or he's more generous. He's more caring. These are like these qualities that are, you could say, like, they're more like divine qualities. They're qualities. It's what I call, like, it's the perfume of what you are. There's a perfume of kindness when you are aware of yourself as love. There's a perfume of generosity when you're aware of yourself as fullness.
I gotta jump off, guys.
Yeah.
Have a good night.
See you, James.
See you, Luke. See you, Robbie.
So that's good because you're seeing it like in real time, experientially.
Yeah.
Right? And you're seeing how easy it is. You didn't make any effort to be yourself. And the good news is you're already that. You're already yourself. You are already the happiness. You are already the peace. You are already the love. You are already the freedom. It's just realizing it. Just like I said, you are rest. And you're like, I'm not rest. And I go, yeah, check. And you're like, I am rest. It was just a realization. So like that's what I'm saying. You just realize yourself over and over and over and over until there's no not realizing it.